It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl, the second of the two elementary semifinals. One of the two teams you're about to meet will be playing Northview for this year's elementary school championship. Let's meet the teams now. First from Glenarden Woods Elementary, please say hello to Christine Pham, Ivy Atunis, and Anina Cummins. And from Magnolia Elementary School, please say hello to Chrissy Beecham, Madison Maragliano, and Cortez Logan. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. We start our teams out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, we will have our second finalist to go up against Northview, so a lot at stake. It is so nice to have all of you back again. Congratulations for making it this far in our competition. Glenarden, Ivy, would you try your buzzer for me? Thank you. Good luck to you, to Anina, and to Christine. And Madison, would you try yours? Thank you. Good luck to you, to Cortez, and to Chrissy. Are we ready to play? Yes. Wonderful. Let's do this. May the better team win. We go alphabetically G before M. So, Ivy, would you start us out? Give me a category and a number, please.
Body systems for 15, please. Body
systems for 15 points. Teams, hypertension, which is a major killer in this country, is also known as high what? Magnolia. Yes. All right.
High cholesterol?
Not high cholesterol, Glenarden Woods. Hypertension, a major killer in this country, is also known as high what?
High blood pressure?
That's exactly what we want to hear. Good. Good comeback. Go red. Blood pressure it was.
Let's get physical for 10, please.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, the recent earthquake in Chile was so strong that it literally knocked the earth off this invisible line that it spins on. Magnolia.
Axis?
Axis, that's right. It actually moved the axis so much that it shortened our day by 1/1,000,000th of a second. That is how powerful it was. Green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, when Dr. Seuss's Horton sat on Maisie's egg for 51 weeks, what hatched was a kind of creature that did live for real at one time but is now extinct. Glenarden Woods.
A dinosaur?
Not a dinosaur. Good try. Magnolia. Horton sitting on that bird's egg for 51 weeks gave birth to...
A dodo?
An elephant bird. An elephant bird. Horton, here's a who. Horton is an elephant. There was at one time an elephant bird, but it is now extinct. Go green.
Oh, that's... green things for 15, please.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, people who have an allergy to latex are allergic to a substance that comes from what kind of pliable tree whose name sounds like it can bend any which way? Magnolia.
A rubber tree. Rubber tree?
A rubber tree. That's exactly right. The latex, they actually make slices in it, almost like you're trying to get syrup from a maple tree. All right, 75 to 65 advantage green.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, what early NASA space program was named for the astronomical twins? Magnolia.
Apollo?
Not Apollo, nope. Glenarden Woods, the astronomical twins, an early NASA program, Ivy.
Gemini.
Gemini, exactly right. Good. Good advantage. Go red.
Science potpourri for 10, please.
Science potpourri for?
10.
10 points. Your question is as follows. People who use smokeless tobacco, like chewing tobacco, don't get a lot of the dangerous poisonous gases or the tars that you get from smoking a cigarette, but they get more of this addicting chemical by doing that.
Nicotine.
Nicotine is right, Madison. Good. Next.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points, teams. Back in 1943, pennies were not made of copper. They used the copper for the war effort. The pennies back then were made of an alloy. Ivy?
Zinc.
Not zinc. Good try. Magnolia, the pennies back in 1943 were made of what alloy that is made from iron ore? What do you think? Steel. The pennies were made of steel. Go green.
Steel.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems, 20 points, teams. The chemical amylase that is found in your saliva helps to break down your starches into sugars. But since it is not used up in that conversion process, it is what kind of chemical? Magnolia, what kind of chemical is amylase?
Is that it? Acidic.
Not acidic. Good try. Glenarden Woods, since amylase can change starch into sugar but not be used up in that process, it's known as what kind of chemical?
Reusable.
Enzyme. An enzyme it is. Try again, green.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, half of all of the calories we human beings consume come from 4 sources. Corn, rice, wheat, and what? Sweet. Magnolia? Yes, ma'am.
Sugar.
More information, please.
Sugar cane.
Sugar cane is what I want to hear. Good, go. Green.
Zuparade for 20.
Zuparade, 20 points, teams. Because the honey possum in Australia has a very long tongue that can reach the nectar in flowers, just as a butterfly has a long tongue that can reach the nectar in the flowers. That was proof to Darwin of his theory of convergent what? Glenarden Woods. What do you think, Ivy?
Species.
Not species. Good try. Magnolia, you will have a chance to answer this. That mammal with the long tongue and that butterfly with the long tongue, equally adept at reaching nectar. That convinced Darwin of his theory of convergent what?
Evolution.
That's what I want to hear. Evolution was the answer. And with that, we come to the end of the first round. The score, Magnolia 125, Glenarden Woods 80. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. A great game, just as we expected, with 2 very experienced teams here. Let's go over and find out about them before we get back to any scientific questions, a few personal ones. And the ladies over here at Glenarden, they have been grabbing and holding onto that buzzer like there's no tomorrow. And I like how you're playing. Ivy, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I like your matching shirts over there. Your Science Bowl shirts and GW, what does it say? ES, Glenarden Woods Elementary School. What mascot do you have?
It's a tiger.
It's a tiger. And who's the principal at your school?
Miss Cecilia Boulding.
Yes, and she is actually here today. She's in our green room, and I know she'll be up to join us in just a few moments' time. And the sponsor of your team is Miss Nancy Stewart. And Glenarden Woods has won this championship many times before, so we'll see if they make it through this game and vie as a finalist yet again. Always a great powerhouse over there. Ivy, tell me, did you have any alternates on your team?
Yeah, we have Vinay Rachakanda, Donovan Harvey, Kaylee Held, and Emma Greer.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chrissy, for helping her out just a little bit there. That's a lot to remember. Ivy, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you want to do someday?
Well, I want to be either a teacher, a botanist, or a botanist, because I like plants and I like teaching.
What would you teach?
Science.
Science, yeah. You'd be very good with the plants, wouldn't you? And how they make you the captain of the team?
Well, I'm pretty good with the buzzer, and... I like to talk. I do like to
And
talk.
you like to talk. Well, that's a very good commendation. And I was asking that because it's obvious to all of us watching why you're the captain. You're just very good, and I like how you collaborate with Anina and Christine. Anina, this is your first time on set. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You want to go to Harvard someday, is that right?
Yeah.
And she wants to be a lawyer. You look like a Harvard-trained lawyer already. There's something about you. You just have that intellectual look to you, Anina. Tell me how you got interested in the law.
I don't know. When I was little, I always wanted to go to Harvard because I thought it was, like, cool.
It is cool, yeah.
And then I kind of like to argue, so.
Yeah, and that's perfect. Sounds good to me. And do you win your arguments?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. All right, you're headed in the right direction. And Christine, it's your first time on the set as well.
Yes.
And you'd like to go to Stanford someday?
Yes.
You have high aspirations. It's a beautiful campus out there in California. What would you like to study?
I don't know. There's so many options out there, so it's hard to choose.
It certainly is. And today, even more so, say, than in my generation or generations before that, it's hard to just narrow down. The nice thing is you can multitask. You know, you can do some things for some years and then go on. A lot of people find other careers with NASA. You know, they were ophthalmologists or they were physicists, and then they get involved in the space program. Nice to have you with us today. Let's go over to Magnolia and find out about the team in the yellow shirts. First time ever Magnolia has made it this far. It's just a fantastic team. Mr. Robert Allen, your sponsor over there. Who's the principal of the school there, Madison?
Our principal is Miss Phyllis Gillens.
Yes, she's out there rooting for you. Do you guys have any alternates?
Yes, we have three. We have Jordan, Kevin, and Asiatsu.
Wonderful, and we'll bring them out just a little bit later. And we were talking about going into NASA, and I know, and I'll be back with you in a moment, Madison, but Cortez, I know you'd like to work for NASA someday, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, as what? Would you like to be an astronaut or do something here at Mission Control?
I would probably like to work on the International Space Station if it's still up there.
You know, that's very wise because, you know, our goals change here. I know President Obama has somewhat soft-pedaled the return to the moon, focusing more maybe on a Mars mission and maybe something like the space station, continuing that. So keep your options open. Tell me how you know so much about science, Cortez.
Well, I guess it started when I was a little kid. I always liked to read, and then one day my cousin picked up an encyclopedia for me, and then I guess that's where it started.
The rest is history, right? An encyclopedia just opens up you to everything practically that's ever been known, and it can kind of be a habit forming once you start. Madison, nice to have you with us, our team captain. You're one to talk about cool heads. You're a very cool-headed player. You're an intense player over there. How do you prepare for your time here on Science Bowl?
Well, a lot of times I just spend most of the time studying with my friends and my team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you read a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope to do someday? I know you wanted to be a stunt woman the last time I talked to you.
Yes.
You still do?
Yeah.
All right, so you're a brainy and a physical person over there because, you know, if you do those stunts, you kind of plan them out ahead of time, the physics and everything that go into it. So I wish you luck in that, and wear padding, please. We don't want you to do anything to yourself. Chrissy, nice to have you back again. Former Miss Greenbelt, is that right? Little Miss Greenbelt. How did you win that sash?
Well, kind of just getting along with the other kids, the other girls, and like being really friendly to everybody there, and like being very not like sophisticated, but being like mature for my age, and which is a good thing. So that I'm like not too silly and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, but somehow you made it all work, and it's delightful to have you here today. What do you want to do someday? I know you'd like to go to Florida State. Is that right?
Yeah.
What would you do if you got there?
If I got there, I want to major in like teaching and things like that, and take some courses in. I'm not sure if I get that courses like about horses, but like I can get courses like somewhere like around Florida because I know that Florida is good for horses and stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely right. Well, that's great. Prospective teacher here with Chrissy and also with Ivy. It's always nice to see. Let's get back into our game. Magnolia 125, Glenarden Woods 80. Lots of points to give away yet. Last correct answer came from Madison. Would you start us out, please?
Dateline Science for 20, please.
Dateline for 20 points. Team Stephen J. Hawking, who is a famed physicist and wrote A Brief History of Time, now sits in the same chair at Cambridge University, once occupied by what famous gravitational physicist? Magnolia.
Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton. He is in the Isaac Newton chair over there. And of course, Stephen J. Hawking is in a wheelchair because of ALS, and he was even featured on The Simpsons. He is kind of a super scientist. Go green.
Science potpourri for 20, please.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, the Prius is in the news because stuck accelerators, the Toyota Prius. It is still America's #1 hybrid. It's called a hybrid because it uses what 2 forms of power? What 2 forms of power, Magnolia?
No gas.
Electricity and gas. Electricity and
Gas. No, it doesn't matter.
Gas.
Gas and electricity, absolutely right. Poor lady was over there getting it from both sides. You pulled that one out nicely. Go green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, our country is worried about the country of Iran because they are trying to enrich what you initialed chemical element, Magnolia?
Uranium.
Uranium, absolutely right. That can be used in the production of nuclear weaponry. Green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, the reason why ice floats on water is because as... Yes, Glenarden Woods. What do you think, Ivy?
Because the molecules are more spread out.
Give me more. Define more there of what you're saying.
Because which makes it lighter. Lighter makes it lighter than water. They're more spread out, which makes it lighter than water.
More?
Because water has a higher density than the ice.
Yes, that's what we want to hear. You said the magic word, density. That's what the judges are smiling about. Good, go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, it was on March 13th, 1781 that William Herschel discovered this 4th largest planet, the first one ever. Magnolia?
That should be Neptune.
Name that planet, Madison.
Neptune.
No, good try. William Herschel in 1781 discovered this 4th largest planet, the first one ever discovered with a telescope. He wanted to name it Georgium after King George III, but he named it after this mythological creature, the father of Saturn.
Uranus.
Uranus is absolutely right. Good answer. Go. Red.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems, 25 points. Teams, if during the course of this taping of Science Bowl you get an embarrassing case of the hiccups, it's because this muscle gets a spasm that is beneath your lungs. Magnolia.
Diaphragm?
Yes, indeed. Your diaphragm is acting up. Now, see, I've jinxed it. Go. Green.
Zooprey 25.
Zooprey, 25, big one in that category. Teams, what A initial term describes how creatures like coral reefs are coping with an increase in global temperature? Magnolia.
Adapting.
Adapting.
Adapting, absolutely right. Or adaptation. Good. Go.
Green things for 25.
Green things, 25 points. Teams, The Rise of the Lichens was a fantasy movie that was not about the green plant, a plant that is a combination of a fungus and one of these. And one of these for 25 big points, Glenarden.
Moss.
Ooh, not a moss, good try. A lichens is a plant that is a combination of a fungus and what else, Magnolia?
Fern.
An algae and a fungus. Go green.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, multiple choice question. If you are taking a medication and it is an antipyretic, P-Y-R-E-T-I-C, an antipyretic, are you trying to reduce your fever, ease your pain, or kill bacteria? Antipyretic, Glenarden Woods.
Kill bacteria.
Not kill bacteria. Antipyretic. Are you reducing a fever, easing your pain, or killing bacteria?
Ease your pain.
You are reducing your fever. Pyre was the key word there that neither of you picked up on. Go green again.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. Teams, the Bikini Atoll, an island in the Pacific Ocean where our government tested atomic weapons back in the 1940s, can still not be visited for long periods of time because of what invisible Magnolia?
Radiation.
Radiation is still a hazard out there. You got that right. Go green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline, 10 points. Your question is as follows. It was back in 1988 that the United States Patent Office issued a patent for the first genetically engineered mouse. It was the first time that a patent was issued for an animal that had a backbone. An animal that is known as what kind of animal? Glenarden Woods.
Vertebrate.
You got that right, Ivy. Good. Go.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems, 10 points. Teams, if someone is wearing a pedometer, they're measuring how much they're doing this. Glenarden Woods.
Walking.
Walking is right. Yes, good. Go. Red. Zoop Parade for 10 points. Teams, camels that live in Africa and Asia, because they're beasts of burden, are known as ships of the desert. What related animal to a camel that lives in South America? Magnolia.
Llama.
Llama is known as the ship of the Andes. Yes, good. Go. Green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. When arborists go on field trips, they go counting these. What are they counting, Magnolia?
Trees.
Trees, that's right. An arborist is a tree specialist. Yes, ma'am.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, what plant term that describes the sweet liquid that rises in a tree in the fall? Ivy?
Sap.
Sap is a synonym for wimpy kid. Exactly right. Good. Green, or red, rather.
Body assistance for 5.
Body assistance for 5 points. Teams, if you're trying to see eye to eye with a person, it helps to look at them blank to blank. Magnolia.
Face to face.
Face to face. You got that right. Nothing beats it. Yes, ma'am.
Zoop Parade for 5.
Zoop Parade for 5 points. Team, Starbucks is the name of a coffee company, but Starbucks is also a character that was on the Pequod that sailed in search of Moby Dick. That was a great white what?
Whale.
Whale is right, Madison. Good. Where?
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, the Olympics did not award a gold medal to this force, even though that's the one that really won the luge and all the skiing events. Magnolia.
Gravity.
Gravity should have gotten the gold medal, and it didn't even get a mention, not even a bronze. All right, 2 questions left. Madison.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, so many people are upset that high fructose corn syrup is being added to so many foods that the government has now convinced a lot of manufacturers to just use plain, ordinary what? Ivy.
Sugar.
Sugar, absolutely. Dateline for 5 points. Last question of the game. Soccer superstar David Beckham recently had surgery on this best-known tendon that's found in the foot. Glenarden Woods.
Heel.
Not heel. The name of the tendon that's found in the foot. David Beckham, the soccer superstar, recently had surgery on it. Can you tell us, Green?
Cortez is going to answer.
It's the Achilles tendon.
It is indeed the Achilles tendon. And with that, our game is over. It looks like Magnolia is heading on to the finals. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back. A tremendous game today, just as we expected. Nobody is leaving empty-handed. All of our players in the semifinals take home Audubon field guides. These are small tokens of our esteem and appreciation for some of Prince George's very best students. Our final tally today is Glenarden Woods 150, Magnolia 295. Congratulations to the team in yellow over there, Chrissy and Madison and Cortez. What a game you played. Their principal is joining us. Miss Gillens, thank you for being here today. Mr. Allen, you are just phenomenal. Congratulations to you. And the alternates are there as well at Magnolia. Asiato, wave to everybody, Asiato, Kevin and Jordan. Wonderful game. We'll see you in the finals. I want to see some smiles over here. Poor Anina, she's taking it hard over here. She shouldn't, because everyone played a great game and all season long. Let's give them a hand. Ivy and Christine. And the alternates back there on the Glenarden team. Emma, wave to everybody, Emma. Donovan and Kaylee and Vinay. And Miss Stewart, thank you for being here. And Miss Bolding is back there too, another very proud principal, one of the best schools in Prince George's County. That's our secret. Now it's out. Congratulations to Glenarden Woods, and thank you for being with us. We'll see you in the finals. It's Northview versus Magnolia. See you then. Bye-bye.